Member for Windsor West.
Mr. Speaker, affordability issues are at the top of the mind for all Canadians. Liberals like to compare their track record with other countries, but when it comes to telecom, it's an interesting story. Canadians are paying amongst the highest prices for services in all the world, and it could actually get worse with the Rogers-Shaw takeover. Canadians will pay the prices, while Edward Rogers and family will benefit from the takeover, and another billionaire's family will also benefit. It is past time to act. Will the government side with families or with billionaires who want to consolidate power, reduce competition, increase prices for Canadians during the summer, and spend their time on the yachts while Canadians are actually picking money out of their pocketbooks just for an essential service?
The Honourable Minister.
I'd like to thank my colleague for his question. Affordability, affordability, affordability. That is what is driving our government policy, Mr. Speaker. And I would say my colleague, the Honourable Member, knows that very well. Mr. Speaker, my position has been made very, very clear. I would say I would not allow the wholesale transfer of licenses from Shaw to Rogers. The matter is now under review by the Competition Bureau. It's going to be looked at by the CRTC. And I can assure the member that every step of the way we'll make sure that Canadians continue to enjoy the affordability that they deserve, but at the same time that we foster competition across the nation.
The Honourable Member for London Fanshawe.
Mr. Speaker, a year ago this government held the National Action Summit on Islamophobia, and stakeholders provided clear recommendations. I want to thank the local and national Muslim organizations, including the Youth Coalition Combating Islamophobia from London, who have been fighting in memory of lost loved ones. But they are still waiting for the government to do their job and actually address the root causes of Islamophobia, like bringing legislation to address online hate, radicalization, and violence. Devastated communities like mine are doing the hard work while the government provides only words and no action. Why?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for her question. Canada has seen an alarming increase in racism and hate crime targeting Muslim Canadians. Islamophobia in our country is a real and troubling fact. Our government has taken concrete steps to address Islamophobia. This includes marking January 29th as National Day of Remembrance and Action Against Islamophobia and holding a national summit on Islamophobia this past summer. We will continue to support community organization and work closely with the Muslim community to end Islamophobia once and for all. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Evangeline Kaya Khan is a well-known community leader and activist in Edmonton. She's also an undocumented worker. She has given so much of herself to better our community in Edmonton. Yet, she and her Canadian-born 6-year-old daughter are now facing imminent deportation. This is especially traumatizing for her daughter, who has health issues. This is a story of just one in a worrying trend of cruel deportations. Will the minister stop this deportation and help Vanjie and her daughter stay in Canada, her home?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration.
Mr. Speaker, our immigration system needs to have a compassionate approach. The honourable member knows that we're not at liberty to discuss the specific details of individual case files on the floor of the House of Commons. I'm happy to continue the conversation that we began together about this specific case file. We're aware of it. We're going to continue to look at the details and ensure that the rules are applied fairly, but also with a compassionate lens. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Courtenay Alberni.
Mr. Speaker, Canada is experiencing a mental health crisis. Every day it is costing lives. The Liberals have promised time and time again to address this crisis, but they've broken their promises. In their election platform, the Liberals promised $4.5 billion to expand mental health services, but there was no sign of this in the budget. They promised a fully funded 3-digit suicide prevention hotline and a suicide prevention strategy, initiatives that received unanimous support right here. Yet again, no funding was given to these commitments in the budget. When will the Liberals follow through on their promises to help people who are struggling?
The Honourable Minister of Mental Health and Addictions.
I thank the member for the question and his ongoing advocacy. Our government has made historic investments in mental health through $5 billion in bilateral agreements with the provinces and territories, which provides now $600 million on an annual basis until 2027. We're engaging with the provinces and territories to inform the development of the new mental health transfer, and we will need the help of all parties and a comprehensive evidence-based plan, including sharing data on indicators and outcomes. We remain fully committed to the additional $4.5 billion over 5 years to support the mental health of Canadians.
The honourable member for Kitchener-Conestoga.
Mr. Speaker, Northern and Indigenous communities see and experience the harsh consequences of